Good evening, one and all. Welcome to this week's stream. I am, of course, M4J, and tonight, this evening, today, this afternoon, depending on where you are and what time you're watching, we are back in Football Manager 2021. This is, of course, the Real Hatfield Town, and today we are just taking things easy. We're relaxing. We're not doing anything particularly stressful, shall we say. There's no match on the line necessarily for not for the first team anyway. Obviously the youth team are here and that's a whole different matter, but we're going to be trying to pick out the future generation of Hatfield Town, which is something I'm always very excited about, and hopefully a lot of you are too. So, between last episode and this, not a lot really has happened. I'm trying to remember who I played last time out. I think it was Buckingham, wasn't it? Yeah. Here. Nice 3-0 win. Their manager has still been mouthing off. He was blaming the pitch, the weather, the star alignment. I don't know. Something or other he was blaming for them losing like they did. But they're a crap team playing crap and we rightfully beat them. So I'm not too upset. 2 great goals from Jacob and a brilliant finish as well from Moriarty, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's it really. I don't think anyone's come or gone since then. I believe... Actually, no, yeah, Batten left before last episode. I do remember that now. So yeah, we've got the Spartan South Midlands League Division 1 Cup semi-final, I believe, against London Tigers coming up. That's going to be Tuesday's episode, in fact. It's going to be the London Tigers semi-final, and then I think I'm going to play the final in Tuesday's episode as well. And then that's it. Season 2 done and dusted. And we can start getting ready for Season 3, where hopefully we'll have some new Hatfield kits in as well, which I'm very, very excited about and very much looking forward to. My voice went really weird then. For now, though, we are, as I said, going to be watching the youth candidates playing the under-18s, which is something else I'm very excited about. It's always nice to see the youth intake. We saw the preview last episode, in fact, and some very, very bright prospects coming through that I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I'm kind of going to be watching the game, not having to make any subs or anything like that. So it's purely just me watching the game on what's going on. So first of all, I get to brush up on my commentary skills, but also starting to look at what kind of player we've got coming through, what kind of style of football they play, whether they're a sprinter, whether they're more of a, hold the ball up and wait for a teammate kind of thing. And hopefully with all of that, we're actually going to start picking out players who could potentially make a difference in the first team. Because next season, it's a big, big season. We're going into Season 3. Things are starting to get serious now. Some of our best players are still being picked off as well, so I'm doing all I can to hold on to those. But we've also got players who are coming towards the end of their careers, into their 30s, may only have a season or 2 left at this level of football at least. They might drop down and play football elsewhere. But it's always nice to have the conveyor belt constantly rolling and having youth players coming through to take the place of some of the senior players. Now in the past with Football Manager I've been a bit reckless and I've just gone out and signed players because I think they'll be good. This year I'm focusing a lot more on youth development and actually saying, this player here is a direct replacement for this player. So in our case, let's say we've got a 2 who's 30 at this point in the game, playing at right back. We've already started bringing in Calvin Harwood to take his position in the right back slot. And I think that is working very, very well so far. He's certainly performing beyond what I thought he was capable of, so I am very, very happy. Before we go into this match, I'm just going to quickly check that we are in fact on full match, because I don't believe, I didn't think we were. So we'll have to wait for... sorry, I'm bumping my microphone all over the place here. We're going to wait here for the old skin to reload. I probably don't need that on all the time, but I keep it on anyway. It's a force of habit. It just means if I do change the skin for whatever reason, or if I change the... the graphics files or anything, it just auto updates. It's nice and easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right. Here we go then. Teams are warming up. I am going to be recording this match as well. I don't think there will be any highlights of this because it's technically not me playing. It is the youth team. So I am going to record it anyway though. So we'll get that fired up as well. And yeah, let's see what we've got. So youth team versus youth candidates. So under 18s versus youth candidates. I believe the under 18s are in the home kit. So the red and white is the under 18s, and the away team here is the youth candidates. So as always, I will root for the youth candidates because I always like to see the players coming through being better than the players that we've already got. Although I am stuck in two minds because we have got some very, very good players in the under 18s still. And I'm already looking. So Cantwell seems to be playing left wing for the under 18s. He's stepped up into the first team in recent weeks. We've also got, I already saw Owusu, who's played for the first team. McCauley at left back as well. So there's a few. Noah Main's not there. Yeah, Batten I think would have been playing in this game too had he not left. I'm still really, really gutted about that one. Oh, penalty. I didn't see anything wrong with that. Oh, McCauley pushed Griffiths. Okay, I was looking in the middle, but I guess that must have been just inside the box. So we're barely 2 minutes into the game and we have our first penalty. Maybe not our only penalty, who knows. But Straker to take. And he's buried it in the top right corner there. So we know we've got a penalty taker now. Carl Straker. What a name as well. Sounds like, you know, it's Striker, isn't it? In Airplane. Sounds like a distant relative of Striker. Is it Striker? I think it's Striker. It is Striker, isn't it? Yeah, Striker. Got my little assistant sitting behind me today, so if I need to do any fact checking. Alright, Rockall with the kick forward. And Barrow there with the header. He didn't look like he can win headers, but he seems to have won that one. Hazel on the left-hand side. So he looks like he might be a right-footed left winger. So that's something to look out for. He fits into the Studholme mould. And again, Studholme, same age as me, because we went to school together. And I'm 28 now, nearly 29. So kind of reaching the peak. It's always nice to look for the next generation to come through. No offence to fellow 28-year-olds, by the way. I feel like I'm past it, but that doesn't necessarily mean we all are. Reese into Cotter, back to Hazel. Tried to return it back to Cotter. Almost got it through. Some nice football being played here. Just to say that, Chamberlain just goes and lobs it to no one. And McCauley with his usual calm self, just kicking it first time into the stadium roof. That's the one thing I would change about him, is he needs to be a little bit more level-headed when it comes to clearing the ball there. And right there with the miscue. See McCauley with the throw. Mind you, McCauley, I believe he's a right-footed left-back, so for him to even kick the ball properly with his left foot, I suppose, is an achievement. Mind you, I mean, when I used to play football, I could kick the ball reasonably well with both feet over long distances. Not accurate as such, but I could at least get the ball out of the box, which when you're a defender is kind of the priority, I suppose. I think it's more the game, the way the game works. Like if their composure stat is quite low, then they will just hoof it into the crowd. Whereas in reality, even players with bad composure wouldn't necessarily just kick it out of play like that. Certain scenarios as well, they certainly wouldn't just kick it out of play. They wouldn't carry it all the way back to their box and then just hoof it. Definitely not. Cotter there with the takedown, and if Reese hadn't got in his way, that would have been a pretty decent move. But sadly, he was blocked by his own teammate there. Owusu with the ball now, finding Bentley. Hazel with a challenge, couldn't quite keep it in. But again, right-footed left winger who also appears to be able to win the ball back high up the pitch, which is something else that I'm very, very excited about. Bentley with the cross. That's a good cross. And a really good header there from Howe to pick out Griffiths. Not just to get it clear from the box, but to pick out a teammate as well. There's that wasted ball over the top again. I mean, Cotter looks quite tall. He looks like he could win a header or two. But I also wouldn't have him down as... He's certainly not someone who would run in behind the defenders. Doesn't appear to be that quick. Although we'll keep an eye on him here. Hazel cutting in, crosses it. Cotter with the flick down to Reese. Didn't quite fall his way. Maybe he's left-footed. That's why he didn't shoot on his right. Right with the cross. Headed down again. Reese trying to lay it off. And a free kick now for offside. Yeah, Cotter offside. Yeah, we need someone to kind of take authority there and just put their foot through it and go for goal. I feel like that was a chance worth taking there. Just to have a shot. You never know. Oh, mind you, I said Cotter wasn't fast. He almost got in behind Paul there. Keeper coming and clearing it. Turner now winks to Cantwell. He's out of position, so I'm not expecting him to have that good a game. But he might surprise me. He finds his teammate there. And gets it back. And a nice little chest down there too. Reese, good. Good challenge. And Cotter fouled by Paul. So, I've joked about it in the build-up to this stream. On Twitter and Facebook. But today is a big, big day for English football. If you're not an England fan, you're probably going to tune out for the next sort of 5-10 minutes. But, you know, my generation, we've never seen England get this far in a tournament. 2018, as far as we were aware, was a one-off. We never thought we'd get to a semi-final of a tournament again, at least not in our lifetime. For those of you who don't follow football and aren't really interested in football, this is the first time England have reached a final of a major tournament in 55 years. Last time we did it was 1966. You may have heard of it. Something big happened that year. We got to the semi-final of the World Cup in 2018. We did lose to Croatia 2-1. We faced Croatia in the tournament this time round and we beat them 1-0. We played them just the once, didn't we? Yeah. We also beat Germany 2-0 this tournament. We drew with Scotland, and I think even if we go on to win tonight, Scotland are still going to try and hold that over us. But we went through and they didn't. So I think at the end of the day, that shows who's the better team. And also, so the Welsh Wales will be Wales at the end of the day. I'm really, really excited about the game tonight. Whether or not I think we'll win it, I'm really torn. Because every time I think, oh, we're England, you know, we've done so well so far this tournament. And then I think, yeah, but so have the Italians. And to my knowledge, I think Italy's first goal they conceded was against Spain, which is exactly what happened to us. Semi-final, first goal we conceded was against Denmark. And that's the first goal we conceded at all tournament. For Italy, it's a little bit longer. I think they went 20 games without conceding a goal before the Spain game. So you could argue that that would count against them. Plus, they went to penalties and we didn't. So that might also count against them. But then they won a penalty shootout and we haven't had to yet. So that could count against us. It's really, really hard to call, to use your head. To use your heart, I'm saying England all the way. Has to be. We have the stronger team as far as I'm concerned. Our bench is strong enough to get to this stage of the tournament, in my opinion. There are players who haven't been on the field much, if at all. Like Ben Chilwell hasn't played in the tournament yet, and he won the Champions League a month ago. So there's so much potential in our squad that hasn't been fully explored yet. There's rumours that Trippier is going to be starting instead of Saka, so it looks like we'll be going for 5 at the back, like how we ended against Denmark. I don't think that's the worst idea. I think that actually makes us stronger going forward, believe it or not, because we have the extra wing-back attack, whereas, like when you think about it, we lose Saka, sure, but to have Walker and Shaw bombing forward, Trippier and Shaw, because Walker will be playing as a centre-back, although he does roam a lot, plus Maguire then feels like he can roam more because there are still 2 defenders back. It opens a lot of doors, believe it or not. It opens doors that you didn't think were there. Good evening, George. Welcome, welcome. We're just talking about England's chances tonight. I'm not going to go as far as to predict a score. I did do that in the semis, actually. I said 2-1 England. I didn't think it would end the way it did. I thought we'd go 2 goals up and then they would score. But the fact that we showed resilience to come back, personally, I think it was a penalty. If we're going to have that argument, I think there was hands in the back of Sterling, and then he was also tripped and kicked by both of them. You could argue whether or not there was enough contact for it to be a penalty. In my opinion, if 2 players make contact, it has to be a penalty. If it was just one, you could argue maybe there wasn't enough contact, but they both had a go at him. And that, for me, is enough for it to be a foul. And we scored, well, we didn't score the penalty, but we scored the rebound, and that's also important. Plus, Kane is now firing. He's got 4 goals for the tournament now, which is more than Sterling, so he's now our top scorer. Sterling would have been tied with him, though, if that wasn't an own goal from Simon Kjaer. Kjaer? I think it's pronounced Kjaer. But yeah, it's bitter, like Scotland fans and maybe rugby fans even, who are saying it's never a penalty. It was a penalty. By the rules of football, it was a penalty. Fred Ellis, hello. Good evening. Welcome. Yeah, you join us as we see the new generation of Hatfield Town coming through. Not much has happened in the last few minutes, actually. We had a couple of chances here and there. I just realised I can't actually get the stats thing up because it's normally down here in the bottom where the players are, but I haven't got that. So I can't see any of the stats right now. We are purely going on what's on the screen here. That actually seems a bit dumb to me. Yeah. I don't know if the game thought about that when they came up with the new UI. I like the UI, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I can't see the stats, which is a bit inconvenient, shall we say. But yeah, if anyone in the chat wants to have a go at predicting the score for tonight, it'd be interesting to see who's right and who's wrong. I must admit, I felt very fortunate when the game finished 2-1 the other day, and I suddenly realised, oh wait, I predicted that. Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting it to happen. I just thought predicting us to win, and then I always throw in a goal for the opposition because I think it's a bit arrogant to assume we'd keep a clean sheet. And then when they scored, all I said when they scored was, don't worry, there's still time. I think our bench could potentially beat Italy. And I know that's a ballsy claim, but if you look at who's been on our bench this tournament, Grealish, Foden, Henderson. You know, Foden got to a Champions League final this season and won the Premier League and won the League Cup. Grealish, is probably one of the best creative players we've got. I don't like him, but he is good when he plays on form. Henderson's won both the Premier League and the Champions League over the last 3 years. And he's already flying now because he's scored his first goal for England. Then you've got players like Chilwell, who I've already said is a Champions League winner. Reece James, Champions League winner. Cody and White. I mean, Cody's not a young player coming through, but he's a very, very good centre-back. Ben White is looking like a very, very bright prospect as a defender. Plus, you've got... who are the goalkeepers right now? It's Ramsdale and Johnston, isn't it? So Johnston, yeah, relegated, not great. In fact, Ramsdale relegated too, but they're both good goalkeepers still. I think that's... Just because a player has been relegated doesn't mean they themselves are bad. It just means the team as a whole didn't perform. I keep whacking my microphone. It's really dumb. Calvert-Lewin, how he hasn't had more match time, I do not know. He's a very good striker. I like him as a striker because he's not just quick. He can also win headers and hold the ball up. He's a proper centre-forward. Old school centre-forward. Who else have we got that I haven't mentioned? So, Trippier as well. Really good fullback. Just won La Liga with Atletico. He is potentially starting tonight, but he has been on the bench for a lot of the tournament. Likewise, I feel like I've missed someone really obvious in midfield. I'm sure I have. But yeah, you got Rashford as well. Bright young prospect coming through. Sancho, always good. Always good. He and Saka are a very, very similar style of player. I think Saka is slightly ahead of Sancho because Saka can also win headers, which for a winger isn't that important, but you saw how many times against Denmark we were playing the ball long and Kane wasn't really interested, and it was Saka who actually went over and was challenging for it. Denmark are very, very tall. Their defenders are very, very tall, so it didn't look like a fair contest, but there was a couple of times where he almost got it. And for a winger, that's actually quite a good skill to have in your locker. You can just pull out a header like that, especially if you make a ghosting run to the back post when the ball comes in. Striker might miss it, but you're there to score it, which is kind of what happened against Czech Republic when Sterling scored that header. And he never scores headers, and yet he did there. Yeah, we've only let in one goal, and to be fair, Pickford made a step to his left when the kick was taken. He perhaps could have saved it, but it was still a very, very good free kick. It wasn't like the ball went across the box and it was an own goal or it came off the striker's arse or anything like that. It was a very, very good goal from Damsgaard. Really, really put the fear of God into us, let's be fair. But it kind of drove us on to actually go ahead and score the goals ourselves. And again, I know there's going to be England haters there who are going to say, oh, the first goal was an own goal. But come on, Sterling was standing right next to him. If Kier had missed it, Sterling would have scored. So you can't take that away from us. And it was a penalty. I'm sorry, it was a penalty. By the letter of the law, it was a penalty. Simple as that. So it's a good run for us. It's a good run. First final in 55 years, and everyone feels like we're going to win it. And there was a video that's been circulating on social media this week. I think it was Greg Dyke, former chairman of the FA. Not chairman. Chief exec of the FA, I think was his role. In 2013, he gave a press conference where he unveiled England's 10-year plan. And he included things like get to the semi-finals of Euro 2020. Well, we're about to play in the final today. I think it was perform well was the quote in the under. Wait, hang on. Was it the under 20s World Cup? I think it was, or the under 17s World Cup. Whichever one it was, we won it. So we did perform well. And then the final goal was to win the World Cup in 2022. That's the big one for me right now, is if we win the Euros right now, then we are the best team in Europe. You can't argue that. And then we go into the World Cup 12 months. Well, was it? We're in July now, so November. Next November, I think the World Cup starts. Because it's a Winter World Cup. That's a whole other thing. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But 17 months from now, the World Cup kicks off. And we have to go into that as favourites as well. So long as we keep a similar squad, keep Southgate in charge, play a very similar philosophy, we should be going into that tournament now as favourites. Even if we don't win tonight, I still think we'll be semi-finalists at least next year. And again, like, it's a really tricky one tonight because I'm an Englishman. I want England to win. But I still feel like Italy deserve to be in this final. And if they win it, they would have deserved to have won it. Unless they really fluke it and they get like a BS penalty or something like that. Or, you know, it's a really sloppy game and we just don't turn up. I would say that whoever wins this final tonight deserves to win it. We have both played exceptional football in this tournament so far. And it's very, very rare, particularly in the Euros. It's very, very rare that both teams in the final actually deserve to win it. It could be argued that Portugal in 2016 were very fortunate to reach the final and even more fortunate to win it. Everyone says that was France's all day long, but they didn't turn up in the final and that's why they lost. They then righted that wrong by winning the World Cup 2 years later, but I still don't think France are as good as everyone says they are. And that's why I don't think they'll be favourites in the World Cup next year. Argentina are causing some problems in South America right now. They won the Copa America last night, but I don't think they'll compete in the World Cup because you throw other factors in. You know, they might lose to Nigeria in the group stages. Who knows? You just, until you get them all in the same groups and actually start playing international football like that, you don't know. You just don't know. But yeah, as an England fan, it's a very weird feeling right now, knowing that we're playing in a final tonight. It's a very, very weird feeling. Did I miss a goal? We're 2-0 up. When did that happen? I don't actually. Did I mention anything about us scoring? I didn't see that. Oh, that was nearly a good goal. Offside, Cotter, but good effort. I'll have to watch that back at half time, I think, because I just don't remember. Oh yeah, it definitely won't be easy. If we win it tonight, we've worked for it, that's for sure. I'm actually happy that Italy are in the final as well. They deserved it over Spain. They've played some really, really good football. I also love the fact the so-called group of death, none of those teams got past the first knockout match. None of them. They all got eliminated. Hungary in the group stage, and then Portugal, France, and Germany all in the first knockout. What a waste. I mean, Germany have been past it for a couple of years now. Let's be honest. That South Korea match in 2018. That was the day that Germany sort of surrendered. France, I think they thought they'd won it before they kicked off, and that's why they lost. And then, what happened to Portugal? They lost to... Was it Italy? No, wait, hang on. Who did Portugal play in the knockout? Belgium. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it was Belgium. So Belgium, you know, they're a good team too. But then Belgium lost to Italy. So that's how Italy deserved to be in the final. We've perhaps been more fortunate. But again, England haters, We earned the right to play at Wembley by winning our group. We also travelled to Rome and we had our best result in Rome, 4-0. So it's not like playing at Wembley meant we won every game, because the one where we travelled away from Wembley, we actually had our most convincing win. So, yep, facts can destroy an argument, can't they? Isn't it annoying when that happens? Alright, Macaulay's just gone off injured, which is probably good for the youth candidates here, but that's a nightmare for me as first team manager because he's my backup left back. I'm not that happy to see that, to be honest, but hey ho. Griffiths with the layoff to Reese, he's crossed it in. Oh, Cotter didn't win that header. Bennett got there first. That was a good header from Bennett, actually. Straker to Chamberlain, that's a nice ball out to right. He whips one across. Header in. Ronnie Hazel. There we go. Back post header. That's kind of what I was talking about. That's what Saka can do. Just sneak in at the back post and head it in. Macaulay wasn't back on the pitch here. That's probably why Wright had so much space. That's not a bad cross, and that's a good header. Bentley losing his man. Plus Hazel looks about 1.5 foot taller than him, which doesn't help. Good finish. So we've got a winger there, a left winger, who is capable of scoring with his head. Perfect. That's all I can say to that. Perfect. Alright, Allinson. I keep going to call him Ian, but I think that's in 2020. I had a youth player called Ian Allinson. Might be here too. I doubt it though. Highly doubt it, but you just never know. Winks. Oh, Straker's gone straight through it there. Ouch. Swept the leg. That's what happened there. Why's my phone buzzing? Oh. Very popular today, it seems. Barrow sort of messing around with it there, and that's not a good clearance either. Owusu to Bentley. Hazel with the foul. I was about to say challenge, but no, that was definitely a foul. Cantwell here with the free kick. I'm not just watching the youth candidates here, by the way. The first team players who are also playing in this game, I'm keeping an eye on as well. I don't know if Macaulay came back on. I don't think he did. I think he went off injured. So I can't look out for him now. Winks kicking the ball off Griffiths there. That wasn't very nice, was it? But yeah, keep an eye on Cantwell and Owusu. Although Owusu I don't think's played for the first team yet, but he has broken into the squad a couple of times. He might come off the bench maybe in a friendly. Oh, Austin's just clotheslined Owusu there. Ouch. God, some of these challenges, considering the fact these are like 18-year-olds playing against 16-year-olds, they're really going for it, aren't they? They're really going for it. No holds barred. I suppose if you're one of the under-18s players, you're potentially looking at these guys as taking your place in the squad. So, yeah, you are going to leave a bit on them, aren't you? Definitely. And that was just a bit heavy there for Owusu. That was unlucky. So, yeah, to go back to England quickly, I think that's, talking about leaving one on them, I think that's kind of what England need to do at the start of the game. Because the Italian strikers, we all saw, it was Insigne, wasn't it, who went down against Belgium and then miraculously recovered when they scored. Or was it Immobile? It might have been Immobile. But just kick them at the start of the game. Just leave a little bit on them in tackles. You've got Maguire, Stones and Walker at centre-back. Every time the ball goes forward, just bump into him a little bit harder than usual. Let him go down, roll around on the floor a bit. The referee's not going to fall for it. And now, the next time the ball comes towards them, they'll be looking over their shoulder to see where the next hit's going to come from, which means they're not concentrating on the ball. You just do little mind games like that, just to let them know. Plus, we're playing at Wembley, so home crowd. Just let them know you're there. That's all you got to do. Nice and easy. And before long, you've nullified their attack. Meanwhile, our attack, our players are used to getting kicked anyway because of the Premier League. But if Grealish comes on, I still don't think this is something to be proud of, but he is the most fouled player in the Premier League, so he's used to being kicked. Plus, we've got wingers who can dance away from challenges anyway, so I think we'll be alright. Plus, the Italians, are they known for kicking out? I've not seen England play Italy very often. We did lose to them in the last Euros, in fact. Actually, no, was it? No, it was the World Cup in 2014. I think it was. We had Italy and Uruguay in our group, and we lost to both of them. I think. Man, my memory has just gone to pot recently when it comes to football. I think it's because it's there's so much hurt being an England fan. You try and forget it as quick as you can and move on to the next heartache. I feel a bit for Frank Skinner and David Baddiel right now, because if we win the Euros, Three Lions might not be a relevant song anymore. Unless they change the words to It's Staying Home, I don't think they're going to sell as many records anymore. We'll have to start a GoFundMe for them. That was a good chance for our under-18s there. Cantwell with the ball across. Some good defending as well from the youngsters. This so far has been a pretty exciting game of football. 2 goals, I've only seen 1 of them. But some meaty... 3 goals, sorry. I've only seen 2 of them. And some meaty challenges going in as well. But I like that. Especially when there's nothing on the line really for me, apart from seeing who the new generation are going to be. It's going to be nice. Just sit back, relax, watch a good game of football. I always watch now, off camera. I always watch the youth intakes when I can. Sometimes I've weirdly had matches scheduled on the same day, which means I've not been able to watch them, and that's never fun. But just being able to sit down and watch the future players coming through. If you've got a head of youth development that plays the same system as you as well, that's always a lot better, because they bring in players specifically to play that formation and style of play, which means you're basically watching a younger version of your first team play. So you can start to see, you know, that player will make those sorts of runs in the channels, and then if you play them with that midfielder who plays that kind of pass, then you're getting the best out of everybody. Start to link the dots together. I do wish they'd stop running offside though, that's kind of frustrating. 10 minutes left of the first half then. Rockall with a free kick / goal kick. It's goal kick. I could have sworn the referee gave a free kick for offside there. Why was he taking a goal kick? I just don't know. I do not know. Alright, Barrow with the kick forward to Chamberlain. They are playing that the short passing game as well, which is nice to see. Oh, that's a mistake from the defender. Cotter running in behind. Has he got the pace? He has not, but the ball came off Winks. And that is a corner kick to the youth candidates. We'll get a replay of that. So I was right. Cotter, he's mobile, but he's not quick. A mistake there from Paul. You see here, Winks was recovering straight off. Well, that could have gone in still. The keeper looked a bit flat-footed there. Griffiths with the corner. Needed someone running there, but that was a pretty decent ball. Potential counter-attack here. Turner forced backwards, and there's Cotter to Griffiths. Oh, he waited too long. Yeah, those slide rule passes never work if you wait that long. You always end up just gifting it to the goalkeeper. Good play from Howell there as well, finding Straker into Griffiths. He doesn't look confident with what he's doing. And then Winks there with the challenge. Right now, throwing it to Cantwell with the clearance. Turner, what's he going to do? He's going to get fouled by, was that Howe? I think that was Howe. Rich with the ball over the top. That's a really nice ball. If Turner gets there, good goalkeeping from Coney. He saw the danger and he came out and snuffed it. God, he looks tiny. He can't be. How's he a goalkeeper? He looks about 4 foot. What is that all about? Oh, that's a terrible. See, on the one hand, from a defending point of view, that's alright from Howe, because he's broken up the attack. But on a counter-attack point of view, he's not really doing much there by just lofting that ball forward. He's just gifting it back to them. It's this thing in football where if you're constantly under pressure, the worst thing you can do is just clear it long like that, because they've got no one to mark at the back. So they're just going to bring it down, take their time, loft it forward again, and it's still the same number of players forward versus the same number of players back. It's just the ball's bouncing between them. It doesn't help to clear the ball long like that. The best thing you can do is bring it down, invite the pressure, and then play it over the top, because they'll commit bodies forward and you can exploit the gaps in behind. That's what Liverpool do very well. But it's also what Liverpool are very vulnerable to. That's how teams do get in behind and score. It tends to nearly always be on the counter-attack. which is what I like to set my players up to do. Because we're non-league level still, our composure isn't there and our decision-making isn't there yet. So that's why we play these ridiculous long passes that the keeper comes out and gets. And it's very frustrating as a Football Manager player to see that, because I'm pretty sure even in real life, players at this level will know don't just kick it at the goalkeeper. At least try and do something with it. And when I went to see Hatfield play, God, it's a few weeks ago now, in their end of season tournament, you could actually see the players knew where to play these long passes, and there were some very good goals scored on the counter-attack. And that frustrates me even more, because I know it's possible now in real life, and yet we still play like that. That wasn't going to go anywhere, was it? That was a bad pass. Very bad pass. That's a good challenge, though. Hazel on Owusu. So there's Hazel again coming back and making that defensive tackle. And winning the ball and winning it cleanly too, which is always nice to see. You do get what's called a forwards challenge, which is where they don't really get the ball. They just take all of the man instead. I might actually check. Sorry if the microphone picked up my bottle there, by the way. I might actually check if Hazel's got a decent tackling stat. He might be worth playing as a more defence-minded winger. That'd be pretty good. If he's quick as well, he can come back and make the challenge, but then also get forward for the counter. Might keep an eye on that, you never know. Nice weapon to have in the arsenal. Turner chasing this one. No, he didn't quite get, and he was offside, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Ones like that as well. I know it's raining, but being able to actually stop the ball and hold it up and wait for someone, that would be nice too. It must be possible to have a player on here who's tall but also fast. You think Erling Haaland, he's 6'2", I think? 6'1", 6'2", but he's also rapid as hell. One of the fastest players I've seen as an out-and-out striker and not a winger. But he's also tall. I mean, Usain Bolt is, what, 6'3", I think? And he's the fastest man alive. So there's always these sports games that assume if you're tall, you're slow. And it just isn't. It's not like that. That's not how this works. Alright, Hazel with the ball. Griffiths running in behind. Oh, he looked for him as well. That was unlucky. Again, I think he just waited a beat too long. Should have played it a little bit earlier. Chamberlain to Austin. That's good link-up play as well. Crossing opportunity. He finds Cotter. Lays it to Reese. Defender comes. Hazel with the shot. And there it is. 4-0. Well taken. There was a couple of nearly ran moments there. Let's analyse this. So Chamberlain, great pass here. Austin should have crossed it in with his second touch. That came off the defender. Good play from Cotter to actually bring that down. Laid it off to Reese, but overhit the pass. And then Rich played it into the path of Hazel, who just slotted it into the back of the net. But there, that's good play from Cotter. And actually, yeah, Hazel could have been offside there because Reese didn't touch the ball. So the defender played it to him, which may have cancelled out the offside. I think it does actually cancel out the offside now. But yeah, bad pass from Cotter, really. Good intention, but bad execution. It's fortunate that the defender played it to Hazel. Otherwise, that would have just been cleared. So they got lucky there. They did get lucky there. But good awareness from all of the strikers there. Forward players, I should say, rather than strikers. And a really nice run in behind from Reese. He looks like he kind of drifts into spaces where no one can pick him up. He kind of sneaks in covert operation style and causes problems for the defenders. Oh, that's an effort and a half from Cotter as well. Okay, I'm excited about these young players coming through. I was before the match, but having actually seen them in action now, we got some really good players. I mean, Hazel in the left midfield role. I might see if I can retrain him. We'll have a look and see if there's any versatility in the squad too. Because if we can start retraining players for different positions, I am definitely going to jump aboard and do that. Make the squad as versatile as possible. So then you can have a slightly smaller squad, which is always good for financial reasons. Hazel to Cotter. There's Reese again, brought down by Bentley. That's going to be a yellow card shortly. Shortly? Surely, I meant to say, not shortly. And there it is, the yellow card. Yeah, Cotter and Reese have got a good relationship between themselves as well. Barrow here with the free kick. Cotter's currently in an offside position. He's back onside now. Lays it off to Griffiths. Yeah, there was no one to cross to. Now Winks has won it back. Maybe a counter-attack opportunity here. Oh, good challenge, Austin. Well in. And Hazel with the ball forward to Cotter. Oh, beautiful across to Griffiths. Cotter and Hazel in the box. Griffiths, he's being held up here by Rich. He does get it in now, though. Cotter went for the header and didn't win it. Ball returned. Griffiths, oh, he's kept it in. And he's beaten Rich, and he lays it off to Reese. He then tried to cross it. And that's another corner. There's some smart play as well between them. I don't know the mechanics of the game. I don't know how well the youth candidates would know each other. I can't imagine it's like the exit trials where they're all meeting pretty much for the first time that day. They would have trained together at the club on trial for some time. But the fact they are starting to build up relationships between themselves, that's pretty good to see as well. That should be half time. 3 minutes were indicated. 3 minutes have been played. Allinson with the ball forward. Keeper should have come for that and didn't. Turner's got in behind. He crosses it. Headed away from Cantwell. Good performance from the candidates in the first half there. Really good performance. So let's have a look at the stats. 2 shots, none on target for the under-18s. 13 shots, only the 8 on target for the youth candidates. It's not a bad ratio. Expected goals of 1.99. They've currently scored 4. 12 fouls isn't great. Pass completion's actually a lot lower than I thought it would be. 57% possession. So to look at, not that one, sorry. I will have a look at the analytical data as well, actually. So average positions. You can see the difference here. They're basically in the same formation, but the youth candidates are about 10 yards further up the pitch. And that there is the difference maker. So if I look at this. So the biggest combination right now is Niall Wright to Carl Griffiths. 12 passes between them. And then Austin to Chamberlain, 10 passes. So let me get this right. Austin is the left back. Where's Chamberlain playing? That's a question. Chamberlain. In midfield. Okay. Yeah, no, I think we're playing really, really well. I think the under-18s... I think the youth candidates are playing really, really well. Oh, yeah, who scored the second goal? So Hazel's got 2, Cotter's got 1, Straker. So it must have been Hazel we missed. Because I think we've seen Cotter and Hazel score. And we saw Straker score the penalty. So I'm pretty sure it was a Hazel goal that we missed. But yeah, let's get into the second half then. So the youth candidate's kicking off. The other thing is I don't know if we're going to see if there's any substitutions or not. Because we haven't got the UI. Good pass there from Reese out to Hazel. Hazel with the cross. Reese ran into the box, shall we say. I don't think he's ever going to win a header by the looks of him. Maybe a free header. Griffiths here. It's good dribbling. Right out wide. Oh, yes, he keeps that in. Good stuff. Whips it across. Hazel at the back post. Just wide. Going for a hat-trick, of course. Is he Ronnie Hazel? Is that his name? I think that's his name. I should know these by now. I know I've only seen them for 5 minutes, but I should know their names, really. Let's be honest. Bentley finding Owusu. He goes in field. That was a nice play. Awful from Turner, but nice ball from Owusu. Chamberlain back to Hazel. He's got space and time. He uses it to whip it across to Griffiths. That's a really nice pass as well. Unfortunate with the first touch there. Allowed Cantwell to come back and make the challenge. But again, crossfield ball. Really well played. That seems to be a weapon we've got now as well. Being able to whip it across to Griffiths. It wasn't a bad challenge from Wright, but Cantwell's kept the ball. That's better from Wright. Much, much better. Good recovery. Can't complain about that at all. And Cantwell forced into the mistake. Griffiths with the ball forward. Not a very good one, though. Barrow now with the header. Hazel brings it down. Forward to Cotter. Sorry, not Griffiths. Reese running in behind. Oh, that's a good ball. The defender thought... Oh, Reese stopped. The defender thought he was going to get that then, and Reese got in between them. I don't know why Reese stopped there. Was he waiting for someone to run past him? He should have just had a go. See a replay of that. So this here, this looks like a wasted pass from Cotter, but look at this from Reese. Just run across the front of Cleaver. But he waited too long and Bennett got back. Not good. Pretty poor if you ask me. And yes, I am being strict here. I'm always harsh. Doesn't matter how old they are. Austin throws it forward to Hazel. Inside is Reese. Nice ball again to Cotter. Good hold up. Finds Straker. Into Griffiths. Right on the overlap. Good first touch. Good cross. Reese's header over the top. He's not tall enough to get over the ball. That's his problem. Really good cross again from right. Really good cross. Austin with a nice header there down to Hazel. Chamberlain out wide to Austin again. Was held up, but he's gone backwards to Barrow, who went forward first time. Cotter with the header. Cotter was offside. So that's a wasteful pass from Barrow. I think Barrow there should go along the ground into Chamberlain or someone like that. Actually use the midfield. We keep bypassing the midfield. That might be why in the first team, thinking about it, the midfield players tend to not have good match ratings. Because for the majority of the game, the ball's being put over their heads. That would make a lot of sense. Even the other team would play long balls over the top. So our midfield would hardly ever see the ball. Austin plays it down the wing. Good play. Hazel needs to keep it in play. Should have crossed it first time, but it is a corner. Yeah, we need to teach players to do first time crosses. I don't even know how you do that, but I'm sure there's a way. There's the header from Reese. Straight at Rockall. Owusu now trying to run down the right hand side. Barrow just steps in front of him. Not a chance you're going to beat Barrow there. Couldn't keep it in play, but I think when you're 4-0 up, you don't really care about things like that, do you? Maybe a little bit, but not too much. Bentley with the ball forward. Turner looked interested, but Howe was always going to beat him to it. Bentley again, finding Allinson. Couple of crossing attempts there. Hazel thumps it clear. Cotter comes back and retrieves it. He's got Reese, Hazel and Chamberlain all running with him. Into Hazel. It's like rugby passing now. Yep, cross to Reese, then Griffiths. Into the back of the net. Bottom right corner. That was just like a rugby move there. Constantly passing it sideways until eventually you score. This was really well played. So Cotter here with the ball. Laid it off inside to Hazel. Then laid it off again to Reese. First time across to Griffiths. And there it is. Back of the net. 5-0 now. Brilliant build up there. Good pass from Reese. Smart pass from Reese as well. And a composed finish there from Griffiths. He's played exceptionally well down this right hand side. Now he's got the goal that he deserves as well. Paul there with the flying volley. Cantwell does win the flick on there. And he's got another chance here. Again, it's team versus individuals, isn't it? I think some of the under-18s have actually played quite well. I haven't seen Cantwell do much wrong, but the team as a whole isn't really gelling. And the fact that Cantwell's playing on the left-hand side when he's a right winger, that probably counts against him as well. I would like to see them bring on a left midfielder and move Cantwell across to the right-hand side. Because I think he's got first team potential, but he's not really showing it in this match right now. And as I said in the first half, I'm watching the under-18s as much as I'm watching the youth candidates right now. Straker to Barrow. Barrow with the ball. I don't really know who he's aiming for there, but he's not looking for anyone in particular, and he's certainly not finding anyone in particular. Griffiths with a good challenge. Reese now on the ball. Griffiths charging down the right-hand side here to provide cover. Oh, they got in each other's way a little bit there. Wright on the overlap, though, picking up the pieces. He plays it backwards. Chamberlain just about gets there. That was a risky move. Cotter couldn't go for that because he was offside. Griffiths wasn't close enough, so that goes harmlessly out of play. Bit of a shame that it ended like that, actually, because there was a couple of really, really good recoveries involved in that move. Rich on the ball. Speaking of Rich, I'm hoping McCauley's injury isn't too serious. Rich coming on to play left back because of that injury. It looked like it might have been a muscle injury. Maybe a small impact injury like a dead leg, that kind of thing. Hopefully nothing serious. It looked like he was walking off the pitch, no stretcher. So tweaked muscle, I'm hoping, or a small bruise, that kind of thing. Oh, Griffiths trying to return the favour there to Reese. That was a good kick. Oh, no pace from Owusu. Absolutely no pace there whatsoever. That was Pickford levels of distribution there from Rockall. He just didn't go anywhere. Foul by Straker on Winks. 10 minutes gone then in the second half. 5-0 to the youth candidates. How with the header clear. Again, I'd prefer to see us keep it in play there. I'm saying us again. I don't know who us is referring to. I would like to see the ball remain in play there. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone out on the field right now is a Hatfield player, so it is us. And I can refer to both teams. I'd like to see the ball stay in play in those situations. There's no reason to head it from the centre of the field there out for a throw-in. It's just no point. You don't gain anything. You don't lose anything, really, but you don't gain anything. You might as well try and keep it in play. Form a counter-attack. It's a bit like when you play FIFA. You know, every time you get the ball, you don't really mess around with it very often. You just run forward and try and score. That's what we should be doing right now. Okay, right on the ball. That's a nice pass. Just no one quite getting on the run there. Pretty sure the rain isn't helping. The ball's travelling a lot further on the first bounce. Like it skips up off the surface. It's not quite wet enough that it's getting bogged down. See, even there, it kind of bounced and travelled. It's also moving quite nicely on the ground, too. Griffiths with the header, but he headed it into an area where Griffiths should have been, so that didn't come to anything. Yeah, we're getting to that stage of the game now where it's all starting to get a little bit sloppy. A couple of subs from both teams should fix that. Bring on some fresh legs. Players willing to run. We're definitely at that stage now where entertaining football isn't exactly the priority. Rich with the throw. Winks makes the movement there. Finds Allinson. He was offside. I thought he was. But the flag didn't go up, so I wasn't sure. Then it went up, and then I was sure. Coney then. Not had to say his name very often this match. Foul on Barrow by Turner, I believe that was. Don't just kick it long, Hal. Try and play. Oh, he's kicked it long. He's actually kicked it long. There's nothing Cotter can do there. There's no one running in behind him, so he can't flick it on. And it's way too high for him to be able to bring it down. It's just wasteful. Really, really wasteful. Defender's not doing the striker any favour there whatsoever. And that's a under 18 throw. Bentley will take it. Austin with the header away. Cotter could perhaps have come after that one. There's no pressure on him, I suppose, to try and retain possession there. 5 goals up. You know, you're not really needing to chase around trying to snatch the ball. Is Austin going to get booked here? Nope, just a warning from the referee. Austin and Wright, they look like really good fullbacks. I've been very, very impressed with them. They're not just winning tackles, but they are actually getting involved in attacking movements as well. That's valuable. And I have said in the past, you should never judge a fullback by their assist record. Trent Alexander-Arnold I'm specifically referring to there. But if they can tackle and defend and then also get forward and make attacks, that's valuable. That is valuable. And it looks like these two can do that, which is very good to see. Right, finding Reese. Back to Straker over the top. Just, that was a bit wasteful again. And that was even more wasteful. So that's nice. Chamberlain having a little bit of a head-to-head there with Owusu. Owusu coming out with the ball. Chamberlain then fouling him. Owusu managed to find the afterburner switch there as well. He started to show a little bit of pace. Cantwell with the free kick. Bit too much curl on that. It's that argument. I was having this argument with my dad the other night. Do you want an in-swinger in those areas or an out-swinger? My dad says out-swinger because it invites the keeper out and the defenders out and things like that. But I got so bored of seeing our attackers struggling, like backpedaling to try and reach the ball because it's starting to swing outside the box. I think you want an in-swinger there. And then you run onto it and you actually attack it. Sure, you're aiming it closer to the goalkeeper so he doesn't run out. You can still trick a goalkeeper into running out and then win the header in front of them. It's less likely to happen. But I like the in-swingers because you're actually, the ball's already travelling towards the goal. If no one touches it, it goes in. But also you can just flick a header then rather than trying to generate all the power yourself. So I try and have as many in-swingers as possible set up on set pieces. It just makes life a lot easier in my opinion. Others might disagree. Depends where you're at in the game as well. If you're looking for a goal, I think you try and be a bit more aggressive and whip the ball into the goal a lot more. Whereas if you're already winning, you can afford to have an outswinger and not really go for it as much. Maybe try and get a knockdown or something instead. Very much depends on the scenario. I kind of wish this game allowed you to build in those combinations. The one I really wish, the biggest thing on my wish list really for 2022 is to set up set pieces so that if you're chasing a goal, you can put more men in the box. And if you're not chasing a goal, so if it's the 95th minute, say, and you're 2-1 up, don't play the set piece tactic where you've got all your players in the box. Like, actually keep some back. Because I had a default set piece for corners and free kicks, and I had a more attacking one than I had a more defensive one. But it randomizes it. So the first minute of the game, I could end up with only 2 players in the box because it chose the defensive one. And I think that should be built into the match plan is, you know, in the 85th minute, if we're winning by a goal, only play this type of set piece moving forward. That would be fantastic to build into the tactics. But alas, we don't have that yet. So it's very much a lottery still as to what set piece you get. And also where the player plays it. Because, again, you've had players in the box and you think, oh, surely there's 6 players there, he can't miss. And then he misses every single one of them. Which is very, very frustrating. Rockall with the kick forward. Wright with the header down. Plays the 1-2 with Straker. Kind of wastes it again with that long ball forward. Although Cotter there. Oh, he's causing trouble actually. That was a nice bit of movement to beat Paul. He should have crossed it a little bit earlier. He has still got it though. That's a good ball in. Oh, if Hazel had run to the back post there, that might have been more trouble. Watts, Wall and Hilton on. Straker, Chamberlain, and I didn't see the third player there who went off. Oh, Watts looks like a big unit. Look at him. Number 15 there in the middle. He looks huge. Check his stats out after. Question is he mobile? If he's that big and also pretty quick, he could be a very valuable asset in that engine room. wasteful pass there from Hazel. Cantwell now. Here comes Watts. He's just holding up Cantwell at the moment. Not putting in any challenges, but that's fine. Don't mind that. Howard the header there to Griffiths. Ah, was it Cotter? I think it was Cotter was the third player because it looks like Hilton's playing as a striker. That was Watts with the ball forward. Hilton gets there. That was a nice pass from Watts. Inviting the keeper to come out, but also playing the striker in down that channel. Hilton looks like a very different striker to Cotter. A lot more lean. He might be the speedster. Bloody hell, Barrow. That was a slice and a half, wasn't it? Don't think he quite meant to do that. It worked out, but I wouldn't say he meant to do that. We're about halfway through this second half then. Griffiths now on the ball. He's starting to get forward a little bit more. Fouled there by Paul. Shouldn't be a booking. Certainly doesn't look like it's going to be. Griffiths and Rees standing over it. Plays it short to Wall. And here he goes for goal. Unlucky. Allenton off, Hayes on for the under-18s. Rockall with the kick forward. Yeah, this is where the game starts to sort of pick up the pace again now. Because the under-18s, I mean, they're not going to get back into this. Let's be realistic here. But they'll be bringing on fresh legs. And those players will be looking to impress. Likewise with the youth candidates. They'll have players who, A, started the game and haven't got on the score sheet yet and feel like they can. So, Reese, for example. Or B, are bringing on players who've watched their colleagues score. And again, it's very much dog eat dog in youth candidates here. Because if a player who plays in your position starts the game and you're on the bench and they score twice. So, like, if we have a sub left winger right now, Hazel scored twice. So, they might come on and think, okay, I've got to score at least once now to be in contention. So there'll be a lot of players now trying to get in the box and actually get on the end of crosses and just make a nuisance for themselves, really, and try and get on the score sheet. So this is where the game starts to get a little bit interesting again. Wall there just, yeah, that's twice now where he's hit it from distance. He certainly looks like a left footer who's not afraid to take it on. Right, just miscommunicating there with Rees. Turner here, all on his own. Don't know where the defence went. Keeper's off his line. Turner elects not to shoot. Barrow comes and makes the challenge. Turner there, if he'd have got his skates on, he could have been in for a chance at shooting then. Watts with the header. Was there ever any doubt that he was going to win that header? Paul showing his lack of composure. Just slamming it into the stands. Again, he didn't need to do that. It was 1v1 there. He could have just turned and got it away. Kick it up the field rather than out of play. Great run from right. Picked out perfectly well by Griffiths. He crosses it in. Oh, it's behind Hilton and just too much in front of Rees. That's a good cross though. That's a good takedown. Hazel still back to Austin. Another crossing opportunity. He gets it in again. Too many defenders there that time. And out for a throw-in. Let's see the replay of this then. So that was Cleaver who got it clear. This is a really nice cross. Good knockdown from Rees. And Hazel, he had a shot. To be fair, he did shoot, but it was well blocked. And then he recovered well as well. To get the rebound and then play it back to Austin. Good link-up play. Some good relationships building between the squad here. Oh, foul throws. That's something else I'd like to see built in as well. So if your player's got a bad throw-in trait, or throw-in stat, sorry, not throw-in trait, and you get them on throw-ins, there'll be a chance for them to commit a foul throw. That'd be interesting. Because it'll actually make you think a bit more about your throw-in takers. Because right now, it's apart from maybe the accuracy of throws might change, but there isn't really a penalty for having someone who's not good at throw-ins taking throw-ins. Griffiths there offside. Not quite sure why he was still over there to begin with, because he should have been back on the right. But hey-ho. Rockall forward. Watts with the header. Again, was there ever any question of him winning that header? Sorry, of him not winning that header. Griffiths now breaking down the right. Tries to cross it. Rich with a good block. Very athletic block there. Chatfield, Whitbread and Knights on for Rockall and 2 other players whose names I didn't see. I wish that thing stayed on for longer, actually, because I'd like to be able to read the players' names if there's multiple subs happening. Knights appears to have come on for Turner, and I'm pretty sure Rockall went off. Jed Knights, what's a name? That sounds like... I might change his name to Jedi. Jedi Knights. No? Just me? Okay. But yeah, we got sub-goalkeeper on for the under-18s now. Might be more of a shooting opportunity then for some of the youth candidates. They might be eyeing it up. That's better from Barrow. Ones like that, I don't mind it going out for a throw-in. Throw-in from Bentley. Finds a Wusu. He tries to cross. It's blocked. Whitbread recovers. That's a nice pass over to Rich. Lays it into the channel. Right. Good track in there. I don't think Hayes had any chance of getting that one, to be honest. Good play all round there from Wright. Sort of opened the door to tempt the pass and then just shut it on them again. Rastrick on for Griffiths for the youth candidates. So Rastrick will be playing as the right winger now. I think that was a yellow card there as well for somebody. Wall with the header. Hazel, no pressure whatsoever to try and get that one. Interesting. Who's actually managing the youth candidates? Is it the head of youth development? Someone's in a suit there on the touchline. Don't know who. Cantwell with the cross. Wright with the clearance. Rees with the header on. Just the wrong side. If he'd gone left there, Hilton would have been in. Right. There's the composure. Brings it down. Finds Rastrick, who's got a little bit of a fight here with Rich, but he has won the free kick. Kind of well played, I suppose. Into the last 12 minutes of the game then. Right with the 1-2 there with Howe. So for me right now, there's time still to go, but for me the standout players have been Reese, Hazel, Griffiths, Austin, Wright. Who else has done well? Wall's done well since he came on. Plus, Barrow and Howe look good in defence. Watts looks like an interesting prospect. Who was the... There was another central midfielder that wasn't Chamberlain. The other guy. Can't remember who that was. I'll check in a second. But he played well as well. Oh, there's Reese's goal. There it is. Hilton with the pullback. Reese with the left-footed shot into the top corner. But yeah, those were the standout performances for me. Reese was a good playmaker up till now. Now he's also a playmaker and goal scorer. Look at that. Just drifts into the space. First time shot. Chatfield with no chance. I kind of want to bring him through as well, just because he's Hatfield with a C in front of it. But I don't think that's a good justifiable reason to have him as a first choice goalkeeper, to be honest. Some really good standout performances. Hilton there with the assist as well. I've not seen that much from him right now, so I feel like I'm being a little bit harsh. But at the same time, he does look good. Cotter, that's who I was trying to remember as well up front. He looked lively and got a goal. Oh, Wright and Cantwell injured. Cantwell being forced off. That looked painful. Both clattered into each other there. Got to remember that now. We've got lots of injuries in the first team right now as well. So, always have a youth player on standby who can fill in if needed. Because you might have something like this happen. There's a lot of physios running on the pitch. And there's the little bug that we've got, where if a player is getting treated, they all run on the spot for a bit. I just knocked my watch off my desk. 1 second. Yeah, we'll just let them tire themselves out. Wright's not having fun. Oh, there you go. No, he's up. He's going to limp on the spot for a bit. Cantwell's going to sit on the bench. Looks like Wright's been forced off as well. Oh, wow. Wright's still sat down. That doesn't look good. Cantwell's still on his feet. God. I've had ones before, actually, where I've signed a player. Sort of like 26, 27 years old. Sometimes for money, sometimes on a free. And then in their first 3 or 4 games, Elliot Sweet on for right there. No one for Cantwell because I think they've run out of subs. In the first couple of games, they've picked up a serious injury and had to retire. And part of me's thinking like, oh, poor guy, blah, blah, blah. But obviously at the same time, not a real person. And then the other part of me's thinking, great. You know, he was meant to be my first choice wing back or whatever it might be. And now what am I going to do? Because you're still down on money. You've paid them loyalty bonuses and signing bonuses and agent fees and things like that. And now your budget's been slashed in half and you've now got to find someone equally as good to fill that void. It's very inconvenient. I kind of like the realism because it has happened in real life. But at the same time, boy, that's annoying when the algorithm decides to kick you in the nuts like that. That's not fun. But yeah, let's see how Sweet does then. I don't know whether he's a right back or not, but he's come on for Nicky Wright. It's not his name at all, is it? For Wright, who's a right back. There is a player, Nicky Wright. I don't remember who he played for. Was it Barnsley or something like that? Pretty sure it's team in red. But yeah, he's got big boots to fill. Sweet coming on. See how he does. 6 minutes to go plus injury time. There might be quite a lot of injury time now because of those 2 injuries that we just saw. Sweet seems to be playing midfield. Wall's gone to right back. That's also very interesting. Well, if Wall's got that versatility, that's a very useful asset to have. And yeah, Sweet playing in midfield. He's starting to get involved. What a challenge that is. He didn't come out with the ball sadly, although he almost won it back there, but not quite. There's Reese, though, finding Hazel. And that's a foul by Rich. Who... Is he moved from left back? He might have moved from left back. Rastrick tried to play it into the box. Came back to him. A little bit of trickery there against Paul. He's still got it. And he's flicked it in. Keeper diving for the cameras there. Hilton waiting in the middle. Wall was making a run round the back as well in case it did get out the other side of the box. Howell here with the kick forward. No trouble there. No trouble whatsoever. Man, there's a little bit of sloppiness still. But again, I'm being harsh. We're 6-0 up. I keep saying we. The youth candidates are 6-0 up. Some absolute standout performances from the attackers, which I'm very excited about. But at the same time, the midfield... I think it's just the midfield in general at this level is always a little bit lacking. They might make a really good challenge and then immediately lose the ball. Or, you know, your centre-backs might play these ridiculous long passes that don't really achieve anything. And I think that's something I'm just going to have to get used to. I don't want to have to get used to it, but I think I'm going to have to. Because it's just going to keep happening. Until you get to the Premier League level, or maybe even like Leagues 1 and above, where they stop doing that. But it's so wasteful. It wouldn't be a bad thing to play keep ball. And this is me telling the team to play short passing as well. And they just ignore it. Completely ignore it. Into the last 2.5 minutes. Wall with the throw. It's been a fun game to watch, this one, though. Not just because there's nothing on the line for me. I'm very, very excited about watching these young players come through. Now the season's over as well in terms of our competitiveness. We have still got 2 cup games where we'll play the first team. But the rest of the league matches now, we haven't got a 100% win record on the line. And we haven't got to worry about winning or losing because we've won the league already. So some of these players might actually get a chance in the team, which would be quite exciting. I don't know what's just happened to my OBS there, but that's just done something weird with my preview. Hopefully that's alright. Bentley with the throw then into the last minute now. Pretty much any second now. 1 second. There we go. Now we're into the last minute of normal time. Cross comes in from the right hand side there from Bentley. Just floated over the top. Coney, no danger there whatsoever. Just letting it bounce out for a goal kick. It's been a very well managed game from these young players as well. You think how old these players are. 16, 17, maybe even a 15-year-old or two. Or at least they would have been when they joined as candidates in the first place. Good game management. Coached very well. They're in good hands here at the Stags. I think it's safe to say that's the same in real life as well. Very, very good hands. Hatfield are looking for players right now. You'll see I periodically share that on social media whenever I see it. Very good opportunity to be a part of a good community club. So if you have got anyone in your family who could sign up, check out the details. Follow Hatfield on Twitter, on Facebook. What else they got? Instagram. Maybe a YouTube channel in the coming season as well. We'll see. I mean, I should know this. I'm director of media. I always forget that. Yeah, I'm in charge of that side of things. So, yeah, maybe a YouTube channel. We'll see. Depends what my schedule's like, to be honest. This was nearly a good chance. Look at that. Sweet with the shooting opportunity. And he's just... Oh. That was more sour than sweet, that chance. Deary me. And yeah, the bad jokes will be prevalent throughout the rest of the series as well. What a touch from Austin. Like the bottom of his boot there, he's just poked that inside to Barrow. Hazel running through there. Good challenge from Bentley. Despite the fact it's only yellow, he's not afraid to go to ground. Austin with the throw. Finds Hazel. Headed back to Austin. First time volley into the box. Rastrick with the header over the bar. I don't know what to make of Rastrick's performance, really. He's not really had much time to impress. I'll judge him based on his stats after the game, I think, than before. I'm pretty sure he's going to get signed up, though. I tend to leave the head of youth to that sort of thing. And then just go from there. Reese winning a free kick. I mean, he's got to come through, hasn't he? I'd like it if he could play the wings as well as a cam. That would be valuable. Oh, crossbar. Oh, I heard the dump in my ears then. Wall with the cross back in. Oh, if Hazel had been running across the goalkeeper there, that would have been a fantastic goal. And the hat-trick for Hazel. That is full time then. So yeah, Wall finished at right back. That's interesting. And then there's Sweet. Rastrick. Look at that. Reese. Griffiths got man of the match with an 8.7, but Reese got an 8.6. Hazel with an 8.5. What about Cotter? Where is Cotter? There he is. He got 7.8. Who else am I missing? 8.6 for Reese. Yep, already knew that. Straker. That was the other player whose name I was trying to remember as well. 7.2. A 7.8 for Austin. 7.3 for Wright. That's harsh. Oh, his name's Niall. I knew it began with N. They did play very well. You're right. Very exciting game. Very exciting game. And, I mean, the under-18s... I've always said this, though. If the youth candidates beat the under-18s, I always see that as a good thing. Because it means the players you've got coming through are better than the players you've already got. I would like to see more of a match. Maybe like a 4-3 or something like that. But overall, a 6-0 win. Can you really complain when your new generation of players coming through score 6 against your previous generation? You have to be pretty mad to try and pick fights in that sort of thing. And again, you can see here, like, it's pretty even with the formations. Just the youth candidates playing that little bit further forward. Right. I'm going to stop the recording here. There we go. And we're going to have a look now at the breakdown of these youth candidates. So Cantwell, 3 to 6 days. That's not bad. That's not bad. Macaulay, 3 to 4 days with a bruised shin. So yeah, we'll get him to wear protective equipment. Why not? Okay, so Hilton. Yeah, look, 15-year-old striker. Could also be retrained as an attacking right midfielder. Really? Attacking right midfielder? I always forget where it says what foot he uses. Here. So he's left-footed. So he could be like an inside winger maybe, or an inside forward. Hazel as well. So he's listed as a striker too, but he played on the left. I'm actually tempted to train him up as a left winger. I'm going to set some of these up now as well. Might as well. So Hilton says attacking midfielder right. So let's do... Oh, hang on. No, can't do that right now because they've not actually accepted terms yet. So we've got Hilton, Hazel, Niall Wright as a right back. What did it say? Could be successfully retrained as a what? Oh, as a DM. Really? What's his tackling? 6. That's pretty damn low. What about Hazel's? 3. Yeah, he was making some really good tackles. That's strange. Pace of 12, passing of 11, acceleration 13. That was pretty good too. And he scored twice and his finishing's only 4. It's amazing how this game works sometimes. It really is. Cotter. I mean, he looks like pretty good prospect already. Finishing of... what's his... Pressing forward. Again, it's interesting. It's interesting how bad he is as any of these right now. I suppose once he starts training properly, that'll go up. But yeah, he's already ready to play in the first team if he wanted to. Did it say he could play as a cam too? Then we got Griffiths, who by far looks like the best player to come through. He's already starting to go towards winger as well. Pace of 14, acceleration of 12, agility of 11. What's his height? He is 160 centimeters, which is 5 foot 5'4", 5'5", something like that. It's not very tall, actually. Yeah, not very tall. Speaking of, what's Cotter's height? Yeah, he's 6 foot. He's 15 years old, everyone, and he's 6 foot tall. Oh my god. What about Hazel? Oh my god, he's 6'2". Wow. Oh, 5 foot 2.9 inches, so 5'3" is how tall Griffiths is. Again, thank you to my little assistant for that. So Chamberlain also looking good. Straker also looking good. Who else? Oh, it was Wall, wasn't it? So he came on as a central midfielder despite the fact he's a left winger. And then he finished the game at right back. It's interesting. Barrow, he doesn't actually look that good. Howe looks alright. Rastrick, actually he looks good too and can be retrained as a cam. So I think we'll look at that. So yeah, I'm happy for all of these to come through. And I think that's going to be the end of the stream, everybody. So, first of all, come on England. Let's see if we can bring it home tonight. Second of all, thank you very much everybody for watching. We are approaching the end of the second season here at the Real Hatfield Town. But fear not, there will be a season 3 and 4 and 5 and hopefully more and more and more. The real life football season is back very, very shortly. In fact, I think the actual Real Hatfield Town have started their pre-season schedule, which is very exciting as well. I will be updating as much as I can you guys on what's been happening regarding the Real Hatfield Town. I'm sure there'll be some conversations and stuff taking place in the not too distant future where we can talk about, I went all Canadian then, where we can talk about exciting stuff that is on the horizon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series or if you enjoyed the stream. Thank you to those who already have. If you haven't, then yeah, be sure to do so. If you're following me on Twitch, thank you for that too. If you're watching on Twitch on playback, do hit that follow button because I stream every week on YouTube and Twitch. Also, a quick disclaimer as well, if you're watching this on YouTube and you've missed the start, you will be able to watch it in full. I always delay it 24 hours to publish it as a video, A, to let YouTube process it, B, just so that I have something to post the next day, and C, there's a little thing about Twitch not liking you multi-streaming, so shh, don't tell them. Yeah, drop some comments down below with ideas for tactics, signings, transfers, all that good stuff. Staff additions as well. Coaching methods would be good. Training procedures, all that good stuff. I'm looking for everything right now. I kind of got lazy and put my assistant on training again, but I will go back to it in the future because I do want to sort of micromanage it a little bit more, particularly when it comes to things like set pieces, because I think we need to train on that a lot more than we are currently. But But yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please be sure to do so. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. I am going to stop the music. And yep, that appears to be it stopped. I'm going to mute that just in case as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Come on, England. And until next time, I will see you soon.